In case you missed it, here's a Sports Animal Rewind.
They want to preview Saturday's game for Tennessee, 12:21 Eastern Time at Neyland Stadium on the SEC Network and right here on the Sports Animal. We bring in the head coach of the South Alabama Jaguars, former player at Alabama, certainly has been in many a SEC venue and heading up the South Alabama program right now. Joey Jones joins us here on the new Sentinel Sports page. Hey, Coach Jones, Vince Ferrara and Mike Strange here in Knoxville. Good to have you back on. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How you guys doing this morning?
We are great. So how did the bye week treat you coming off of that win over Western Kentucky?
Well, I thought they came back a little revived physically. We had just a so-so practice this morning. We've got to understand that we've got to practice hard and be focused on what we're doing. But I thought physically it really helped, just from the standpoint of got a few guys bumped up and bruised up that we were able to get back on the practice field.
I want to give our listeners just a brief reminder that, as Vince mentioned, Coach Jones played at Alabama. Not only played well at Alabama from, I want to say, 79 to 83, and was on Alabama's all-1980s decade team as a receiver and played a couple of times here in Neyland Stadium. Coach, my question to you is, you were I believe we're at Birmingham Southern when South Alabama called you. Is that
That's
right?
Correct.
And and I did not know this. You're a Mobile native, so that was a decision, I guess, to go back home. Just talk about the decision to. I can see it would seem to me it's a little bit of a gamble in a career to try to start up a program from scratch. What went into that decision for you?
Yeah, I agree with that. It was a gamble in some respects, but the others, what I felt like was a great opportunity. To start up a Division I program in South Alabama. Obviously, you got to go through some growing pains there when you do that. But to me, it was a deal where that's my hometown. I love the city of Mobile. I love the University of South Alabama, and just to have a chance to start a Division I program was an opportunity of a lifetime for me, and that's something that the way I looked at it, and it's we got some good things, we got some good times coming.
Visiting with South Alabama head coach Joey Jones. South Alabama, the opponent for Tennessee Saturday at Neyland Stadium, and Vince Ferrara along with Mike Strange. Coach, we talked to you at different times over the last couple of years about the makeup of your roster. What is the majority of your roster this year in terms of the types of players that you've brought in? Because as we've seen from other programs, when you're building in an FBS program, you can go the JC route, you can go high school route, you can spread your wings beyond your recruiting area. How have you built this roster, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, we had to get a sprinkling of junior college players because you need help right now, and a lot of times when you bring a freshman kid out of high school, sometimes they can help you, sometimes they're not ready, and so we signed about 11 JUCO kids this past year. I thought, and we hit really on most of them. Felt real good about the guys we brought in, and then we have a sprinkling too of guys that were with us in the early days in 2009. Guys that maybe weren't recruited by Division I schools, but they have gotten better and better and better, and been with the program and become real solid contributors to our football program. So it's kind of a mixture between the high school guys and JC guys.
This is it fair to say 2013 is the year you've been building toward? You're a full-fledged FBS member now. You're in the Sun Belt Conference, playing for a championship, playing for a bowl bid. Is this the year that you've been pointing toward?
It is. I mean, it's just the one that we, as a program where we wanted to be. Obviously, 5 years ago we didn't even have a program at all, and here we are coming to Tennessee and playing a great SEC team, and so that's where we wanted to be with our program. We want to play the best, and we made a decision to go Division I sooner than we could have. We could have put it off for a couple more years, played FCS and tried to do well there and then move up. But we just felt like we wanted to get our program to that point quicker. We made a decision last year to play Division I schedule when we weren't even a Division I school yet, and because there's no doubt that playing that season really helped us in this season. So, of course, it remains to be seen as far as we got a lot more games to play. But there's no doubt that we're a better football team, having played the schedule we played last year.
Started out a tough start with the loss to Southern Utah, and then bounced back against Tulane and then Western Kentucky. Talk about how your guys were able to bounce back from that Southern Utah game and then win, and especially last week against Western Kentucky, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yes. We that was a tough loss. So we're up 8 points with 8 minutes left. Got the ball with our offense. We take control of it. We didn't. We had a turnover. We made a couple of busts on defense, and all of a sudden, they come back and beat us late in the game. But as far as bouncing back, we just it was one of those deals where we were embarrassed. We knew that we were a better team than Southern Utah. I'm not taking anything away from them. They played a good game, but we should have controlled the game. We didn't, and I challenged them all week long, and of course every practice after that. We have a chance to win. We got to make the plays down the stretch to win the ball game. We've done that. That's one thing I've been proud of our guys. We could have folded our 10 against Tulane and folded our 10 against Western Kentucky. We didn't do that. Guys found a way to win.
What have been your offensive strengths? What do you all do well? How are you scoring? Who are your people?
Yeah, we're kind of a pretty balanced team. We run and throw the football, and we try to be 50-50, and I think for the most part, statistics prove that. But as far as our quarterbacks, we have Ross Matheny, who's our starter, does a great job, can run the football as well, and Brandon Bridge, our backup, and comes in the game and plays some, and he's extremely athletic as well. And so those two guys have really run our offense. Probably the biggest difference, other than we got a couple more receivers in our team, we got a couple more running backs, and obviously that is talent. Probably the biggest improvement we've made is our quarterback position. But those guys are really been effective running the offense and not making dumb mistakes, and that's been real big for us.
Coach, statistically, your team leads the Sun Belt in defense. Why do you think you've made some progress and done a good job on defense?
Well, Coach Kevin Shearer's come in and done a great job from Alabama, and really brought a great system with him. And then secondly, we've really recruited some good D linemen. We've had some good ones in our program, and then we hit 3 really good ones we thought to come in from junior college ranks and really made us better there. And just have some maturity on that side of the ball. We have a ton of seniors that guys have been around the 5th year of football and so of college football. And so I think the maturity aspect and the fact that Coach Shearer's coming in and been doing a great job.
Coach, as we said before, you played at Alabama. You played for Coach Bryant. You've played in Neyland Stadium. So I kind of a twofold question here. What do you remember about playing Tennessee? And what did you take from Alabama and Coach Bryant that you remembered as a player to a coach starting a program?
Well, first of all, going to Tennessee, I can remember it was definitely the loudest stadium that I've ever played in. We played LSU, and that was loud as well, but it just seemed that Tennessee was the loudest, and they're just a great atmosphere. That was a great experience playing there. As far as what Coach Bryant taught me, he really taught me how to do the little things right, and I know that's probably coach speak in a lot of ways, but it really is. I mean, the attention to detail and being accountable for the little things, accountable to your teammates, being accountable to your coaches. Because bottom line, I don't want to let my players down. I don't want to let my staff down. I hope they have the same feeling about me and about their teammates. Is you want to do your job, do it in a great way. So in an effort to make our team successful, and I think if everybody does their job, then we're going to be successful. And that's what I learned from him.
Joined by Joey Jones, South Alabama head coach, previewing Tennessee and South Alabama on Saturday at Neyland Stadium. Vince Ferrara, Mike Strange here on the new Sentinel Sports page. Coach, do you have any relationships, cross path with Butch Jones or anyone else on the Tennessee staff? A couple of them have some SEC experience as well.
Yeah, I really don't, relationship-wise. Of course, know a lot of them. And say one thing, and this is not at all to try to blow Coach Jones up, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm extremely impressed with him. As I watch his team and I watch them on film, you can tell. I mean, coaches can tell when players are well coached, and those guys are very well coached. and he has a great intensity about him. I love listening to him. I think I've kind of looked at him and see how he approaches things with his intensity level and his passion. He's just, man, I always admired him when the jobs he'd done before at Tennessee, and I just know that he's a great football coach for Tennessee. There's no doubt about it.
How do you handle when there's multiple quarterbacks that you have to face? You guys do that to opponents. Tennessee will have to prepare for a couple guys, but there's that possibility, obviously, the other way with Justin Worley starting and maybe a freshman getting in, not knowing what to expect from some of those other guys if you haven't seen them. How do you prepare for that?
It's difficult, that's part of the reason why we do it, because we got two good ones, and that's the reason we're playing two guys. But it is very difficult because you've got to, especially if they have a different skill set. If they're similar, then it really doesn't matter. But when you have a running quarterback and kind of a throwing quarterback, it's pretty difficult when you make your calls. And you got to make that call quickly on the field as you see him coming out, and they got to look at the formation. They got to understand, this guy can run the ball, and this guy probably not. And so it is difficult to prepare for that. And I've always wondered why more teams didn't play two quarterbacks, but it makes it just such tradition, playing one guy. And I do understand that, but you got two guys that can do it, then I feel good about it.
Coach, what's the reception been like in Mobile? I'm sure everybody in Mobile was either a Auburn fan or Alabama fan. What's it been like for you all carving out your niche? Well,
I tell you, it's been a great local thing here. The good thing about it, we have Alabama and Auburn fans, but they all love the Jaguars. I mean, we're no threat to Alabama and Auburn right now. So, I think that they say, hey, this is a hometown thing. We want to support the Jags, and we've had great crowds, and it's just been I tell you, last week that Western Kentucky win was the loudest our crowd has ever been. It was just such an exciting atmosphere. It's just fun to see. It is what it is, and we know, Alabama's Alabama and Auburn's Auburn, and we know that recruiting-wise, that if they want them, they're probably going to get them. And we understand that, but there's also a niche of a bunch of guys that can still play ball that are right below, guys that go there to those places, SEC and that type of thing, that we can get and be successful here.
How are you doing health-wise coming into this game? Any guys that would be starting or contributing for you that might be out that couldn't heal up during the off week?
We're in good shape. We've got Charles Watson, a safety that's had a little infection in his foot, but I think he's going to be fine. But other than that, we're in good shape. We also got Theo Rich back, who hadn't played yet. He had a broken hand early in camp, and he's going to be able to go this week and help us at defensive end.
There'll be no shortage of Jones in the house at Neyland Stadium. Joey Jones leads the South Alabama program. You have 3 Jones on your roster, correct?
That's right.
Jay, Jeremy, and Ramel, and then Butch Jones leading Tennessee with Riyad Jones for Tennessee, so no shortage. Coach, safe travels up here. Hope you enjoy your time here, and thanks so much for the time. Always great to visit with you.
Really looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.